and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They start the drive with Cook. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be complete.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Robert Quinn. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3rd and long for Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Check, walk 54, walk 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 1st down, it's Elliott. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half and some of these shorter gains.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 53 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott going up top. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
What's the run? They're running it.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And complete right side to Cook. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 41 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Elliott toss right. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Building offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Second down, Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be third and a mile. Now Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
55, right there in the middle, 55.
On fourth, they do snap it to Prescott. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. So not only do they convert on fourth, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
On second down, it's Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Cousins to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded just inside the 20. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Call that a very strong gain of 24. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4.
Final play of the half. Prescott letting one fly deep for Cooper. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Looking again that time for Amari Cooper, but it's going to be second down. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. This will be from 56 yards out. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So after a good run by Zeke, another first and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards the pickup there.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a first down on a gain of 10. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. On that sideline, they're saying that was more like it. The first down run went backwards, that time into the end zone.
And I like their little bit of courage in play calling, too. Because after an unsuccessful run, especially one where you lose yardage, you oftentimes go right to throwing the football. They came right back with a running play, and it paid off handsomely.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Left side caught by Diggs. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
On 2nd down, Cook.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. So he got free at 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Back now in Arlington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. From the 29, Prescott, throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
To throw is Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. The Cowboys will go. Prescott. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense. And he loses the football a second time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. George Iloka, the one that comes up to make the tackle.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Lockdown, baby.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Here's Matt Wild now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Fielded at about the 28. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Pick me up. Here we go.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Rush coming, and he's taken down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. His throw caught right around the 6. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb, 36 yards. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Big D.